at the end of every year, I like to take some time to reset and refresh my life for the new year ahead. So I do a whole bunch of little activities that make me feel inspired and ready to start the year new. In this video, I did a full-on declutter of a bunch of spaces in my house that were annoying me. I organized, I got things together, I cleared things out. I feel really good because of it. I did all of this over the space of about 2 weeks, an afternoon here or there, because there was a lot to do. If you do want to follow along, what I would recommend is starting by brainstorming a list of the spaces in your house that are annoying you the most. Those are the spaces that you really need to concentrate on. So the linen closet, where you can't actually find any of the linen that you like and use. The pen drawer, where half of the pens don't work and half of the pens you don't actually like. Start with the most annoying. This is actually part of a series that I'm doing on my channel. It is a Reset Your Life series that I do every single year, where I go ahead, I reset my life, I do activities like declutter, deep clean, etc. So if you're interested in reset content, maybe you're gonna spend your January just literally resetting your life, or you're in reset mode right now, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm also gonna have some links down below to previous reset content that you might be interested in. Now let's get into the decluttering. The first space that I tackled was my kitchen. I started by getting everything out of the kitchen cupboards and going through it all to make sure that it was all stuff that was genuinely used and functional. I find that the does this spark joy question, it doesn't work very well in the kitchen. Otherwise I get rid of things that are ugly, but I also absolutely do need. So I did get rid of anything that we didn't use. So this is everything that we're getting rid of. There's just some random stuff in here, like a glass spray container. There's a bunch of mugs that when I bought them, like one of these had Kris Jenner on it, and then a bunch of them had quotes from Melody Hanson that I love, and then random quotes like that, but they've all rubbed off. And I decided that I wanted to do a full reorganization of the drawers. So previously our drawers looked like this. The cutlery holder, it didn't fit into the top drawer. There were some random containers organizing some things but not others. It was just a real mess. I added a cutlery holder from Kmart to the top drawer. The wrong way, mind you, because I mucked up the measurements. And I also added little wooden drawer organizers to fit in the rest of the drawers and categorize everything. I got to give everything in my drawers a home, and if you've watched my channel for a while, you'll know that means a lot to me. I find when everything has a home, your house is that much more organized. So with this, I mismeasured. I thought the depth was the width and the width was the depth. Anyways, now we have a sideways cutlery holder. It's still cleaner than it was before though, like it looks so much better. And all of the drawers have little categorized sections. These are empty, but I put them there so everything fit in here really nicely. We've got this drawer and our last drawer. In general with my kitchen, I feel like I've organized it multiple times, but it's one of those spaces that firstly we just don't have that much space. It's not my favorite space in the house. And also I think I just need to like try again. I'm a big proponent of try again. However, always try a new way each time. For example, those drawers, I've definitely organized them multiple times. This time I'm going with drawer dividers because I haven't had that before. And I have a feeling that's gonna be what sticks and keeps them organized. Then I looked at this open shelving, which aesthetically has never been very pleasing, but it is very functional. And I added in some containers and some Lazy Susans. So here's where we're at with the open pantry. So I've added these little Lazy Susans, I think they're called. These are definitely not the best quality Lazy Susans that one could get. I'm so obsessed with this. I got their Black Friday sale. You can feel as you turn it around, like it's just not as stable as it could be. But you know what? It does the job. And then up here I have like Luke's coffee stuff. And here's green tea on a Lazy Susan. He gets the top because he's tall. All of our salts and pepper are in here. I don't know how wildly convenient that is, but you know, it works for now. Luke's vitamins also go down to here. He takes a lot of supplements and vitamins and stuff, as well as my stuff is in there as well. Then I have my oats over here. In an ideal world, I want to replace these with something more like that. So I could go back to Kmart and get a bunch more of these, but I don't want to right now. So it's been a week or two since I filmed my video decluttering and organizing this, and I will say these, while flimsy, are so useful and they make things so much more accessible and easy. I don't know why I didn't trust a Lazy Susan. I was like, this won't really make a difference. It makes a difference. Everyone get a Lazy Susan, it's time. Eventually I'd probably like to replace them with something that doesn't like tip over. But this makes everything so much more accessible, which is always one of my goals when I'm doing organization stuff. It's not just about like putting things in containers, it's making it easier to access and therefore easier to put back. That's really important to me as someone who I'd call like a lazy organizer. Make things easy for yourself to keep organized. From there, I organized a few random things. In the bathroom, the bottom shelf was killing me. The vacuum pieces were never organized. The cat food was always out. So I got a white container to hold all of the vacuum cleaner parts and I put that away. And that meant that the cat food sat nicely by its side. The little changes like this make such a huge difference. Then there was another cat related to do. The kitty litter was sitting in this big bright satchel in the corner of our space. It's this very bright aqua color. Clearly doesn't go with my style. I finally picked up a plain large container to hold it with a scooper so that it wasn't such an eyesore. The kitty litter was definitely one of those things that I'd gotten visually used to in my space. Like it was clearly an eyesore and sometimes I'd film B-roll from over on the couch and you could see it in the background. I was like, wow, that looks shocking. So now I've got the kitty litter sitting in there and I've got the litter bags in that little box underneath. But it definitely looks better, more neutral, and it blends in easy. I also finally relabeled these spices from the kitchen. I received these labels eons ago from an absolute angel of a subscriber and I've procrastinated applying them ever since. It did take an hour or two with a Netflix show on, so I understand why. The end result of those jars was so good. They look so much better. Then I tackled the under the laundry sink area. I ended up getting rid of a bunch and also I converted it into a basket situation where I could pull out all of the cleaning products in one go. Accessing things under the laundry sink isn't really easy or convenient, so having them all in a little basket makes it nice and simple. It can also be like a portable cleaning station. I ended up reshuffling a lot here. I also got a new container for the laundry powder to make things look a little nicer, and this was the end result. Then I tackled the fridge. This was the most unexpectedly helpful area to organize. I didn't think that organizing my fridge would do anything. I didn't think it would stick, or I don't know. I didn't really declutter much. My main focus was on making everything easier to access. There were about 100 sauces and oils and chutneys thanks to my partner. I think I use about 3, but they've all always been really hard to access. Things get lost, you can't see all the sauces, so you buy more sauces and then you realize you already had the sauces. So I got these relatively inexpensive fridge organizers from Kmart and I've decided that everyone needs these. In the week or 2 that we have had them, they have been absolutely game changing. You can pull out the containers and see everything. It is a dream. This is how the fridge looks after like a week or 2 of using these. So I've got these containers. I finally bought new containers to put all of our meal prep in because our meal prep used to just sit in big pots as you would have seen before, and it didn't work for the fridge. They always would end up here and then all the sauces would be around them. So we got a bunch of these containers from Kmart. This is all of the herbs and spices. Luke has lots of those. This is for snacks. It's currently covered by my advent calendar that my friend got for me. She's an angel. And this is for more meals. Here we have our little first sauces and random spreads drawer. And we have 2 others. I probably could do with another one over there and then move this somewhere, but probably this is the biggest difference. Like being able to pull things out, see all of your sauces and grab whatever, huge difference. I've been obsessed. All of the containers in my fridge, if you're from Australia, were from Kmart, every single thing. And I would go back for more. I don't think they were too expensive either. Next, I focused on organizing my tech and my craft space. This was really quick. This area just tends to get cluttered up over time and I need to go back to it over and over again. I'm not great at decluttering craft or tech, but I think I did an okay job at least making it easier to access and use. This area always just gets so messy in here. Like, I don't know what's happening. In the bottom isn't so bad probably, but I think it's worth just taking everything out and organizing it a little bit so it's a little less overwhelming, because whenever I open this, I'm just like, ugh, it's too much. There are a few things here that I think I want to sell. I have my burner phone, which needs to go. I bought this Logitech webcam for a live stream. I don't think it's the right fit. This is the Rode video mic, and to be honest, everyone raves about this mic. I must be doing something wrong, but this just does not work for me. I've had so many problems recording audio with this particular microphone that I'm like, nope, we are getting an easier microphone. I'm gonna take the time now to put these online to sell because these are the kind of things that I could just leave sitting around. You kind of just need to put things up for sale as you declutter. Otherwise, they end up sitting in the corner of your house forever and you never actually get rid of them. So in here, we've got birthday stuff, we've got cards and all sorts of crafty things. I've got a random book which has good collagey stuff in it. This is always really hard to declutter because with craft stuff, it's like you don't know when you're going to need craft stuff. It kind of exists to be used when needed. Like if I'm doing a card, I could need something, but I might not need it for like a year. And I don't do craft stuff that often, but I do really enjoy it. So I think it's worth keeping stuff for it. So much nicer, clearer, easier to access everything. So this is what the inside now looks like, keeping in mind that there is another camera literally sitting right there that needs to go in here. And this is the end result for the craft drawer. I actually feel like it looks less organized than it did before. I don't know how I've done it. However, I think things are more accessible than before. Like I can reach in and grab everything, whereas before I think a lot of things were like kind of hidden in the background. So not much gotten rid of and it looks less organized, but it's more accessible, which is still good. Then finally, I organized my wardrobe. This is actually where I would start if you're new to decluttering because I find that it's quite easy, although everyone is different. This year, I don't feel like I've purchased too much that I don't love, but there are definitely a few things that I wanted to let go of. I think decluttering gives you a really good perspective on clothes because you have to buy with this idea that you don't want to be getting rid of it in your end of year declutter. You end up buying higher quality items that last longer that you really genuinely cherish. Everything is now on the floor. We've taken everything out of its original space, which I always find wildly helpful because you see things from a fresh perspective. Things that are sitting in your wardrobe, you can just skip over them so easily, but when they're like laid out in front of you in a totally different position to what they usually are, they just look different and you look at them in a new light. All of my shorts and pants and bottoms in general are in this pile. Then over here, there's lots of my winter clothes as well as my tops. In this pile, we have some glasses that make me look like a bug. A skirt that I bought for a Halloween costume and that I never wore and I still feel bad about, but I think someone else will love it. A strapless white top that is actually really lovely, but it just doesn't fit me quite right. I really want a white strapless top, but I just won't wear this because it's not structured enough. It doesn't like hold everything up enough. Some things that are falling apart and like really, really old clothes. Things that I got from thrift shops that I was like, that's a great idea, and now I just haven't worn them. So we've got to keep pile 1, to keep pile 2, and this is all of the stuff that is going to go. I'm pretty happy with this pile. It's not like a wild amount. She looks fresh. This is definitely my wardrobe with washing to be done. I don't have this few clothes. This is what my wardrobe looks like as an after. I've gotten rid of everything that I wasn't wearing, everything that was uncomfortable, unflattering, or falling apart. These are all of the pants that I've kept and my very few shorts. I think most of my shorts are in the wash because it's summer. All of my athletic wear, we're very black in the athletic department, and my few pajamas that are not in the wash. If you like this video, I've got videos for you. You are in the right place. In fact, a few years ago, I created a whole entire challenge for you, a 30 days to simplify challenge where I went through every area of my space and I did a huge declutter. That was a pivotal moment in my life and it actually made a huge impact on my personal style, how I felt in life. I would highly recommend if you are at a stage where you're like, I need to simplify, I need to minimize, going through that challenge. I'm gonna have that playlist on the screen and down below. I appreciate you so very much and I will see you soon.